colleagues helping each other out. Okay, so welcome to the Health Sciences orientation session. It's lovely to see so many of you. You heard me getting very excited about how many of you are here. We've also got quite a lot of our colleagues from Health Sciences here as well, which is great. Okay. So we are always on country. Country is a place of teaching, learning, research and scholarship. We acknowledge elders and ancestors of country where Flinders University campuses are located. We are meeting today on Kaurna Yatha, Kaurna People's Country, and where Flinders University's first campus was established. The Bedford Park campus, where the teaching and research staff primarily work, is located at the foot of Nganu, who is a Kaurna ancestor. Some of you may have heard me talk about this if you were at the session earlier. The red kangaroo rock beneath us here at Festival Plaza is the place where Tanda, the male red kangaroo Kaurna ancestor, introduced initiation ceremony for Kaurna men. During the early days of colonisation, the rock was extracted and used to construct Government House, Parliament House and the Adelaide Jail, as well as other colonial institutions. Finally, we acknowledge Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples attending this session and that Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people's sovereignty was never ceded, which means never given up. So, continuing, from the first sunrise to the last sunset. Okay, so this is us. I'm Tracy Ann Rankin. I'm the first year transition coordinator. This is my first time in the job, so I'm new to this, so I'm feeling nervous too. And we have Jane Harford, who's course coordinator. And Jane is basically my sage. I go to Jane with nearly every second question I have.
And I fake it till I make it.
So Jane's going to be a great person for you to also have within your sights, because she can answer lots of really tricky questions about your degree. Okay, so we're going to start by getting you guys to talk amongst yourselves, but what we're going to talk about is barriers that you might have encountered, and some of that stuff will be resolved in this session between you guys, between us, but we're first going to get you to talk about your degree goals. So what we want to hear from you about after you've spoken in your groups is making sure you've enrolled in your topics for semester one. Why did you choose this area of study? Talk about that at your tables, and then we want to hear back from you. How does the degree that you've enrolled in reflect your current and future goals? Like, why are you doing this? What is it that you want to have happen with your degree? What is something you hope to achieve during your degree? So it's not just about where it will take you, but what you'll do to get you there. How will your choice of 3 option topics in first year support your goals? And think about whether or not you might need to reconsider those for what your goals are. So at your table, discuss these things, and then we'll hear back from you. So you might find that you just talk about the first 2 things. That's okay. You don't need to cover everything. Just start with one of these provocations and we'll come back. 5 minutes, Jane?
Yeah, see how you're going. We can spend longer on it if you're having a good chat and would like some more time. But if any of this discussion raises any questions that you think we can help with, and those of you who are at the first session will know, I hope, have taken home the really key message of ask questions. So if any questions do come up that you think you want resolved today as you talk through these things, let us know and we'll make sure that we address them before you go.
All right. At your if you don't have a table, the tableless people, you can work a way of finding out. Maybe have little groups. You could have a group of 3 and 4. Yeah? All right. Get started. There's also some chairs here if you wanted to join the table.
So can I suggest, if you haven't done it already, that you introduce yourselves to each other around your table? So you've got some names.
I'm Karen.
You can try them.
There you go. I'm Levi. I'm Tony.
Hi, I'm Molly. Lexi.
You guys all involved? Please look into topic suggestions.
Yeah, I'm at both teams. Some I'm here and then some probably a class. Is that like oh, literally. So you go down to like where the green, like the first floor, like the house, like oh, can I have my card? Like go to see a person for that. Through like a waiting list or something that I just went up downstairs slid through and then I just got my photo taken. It's pretty easy. Yeah, just literally asked them like, should I like, where do I go to see my photo ID? And then take it off. Like literally instant.
So have a look at opposition. They're similar.
With the online applications as well?
Oh, me neither, don't stress. I've done. You choose how to go to the meeting before. No, I didn't even know there was one on. Yeah, just keep them on those.
How old were you guys in 2008?
Oh, like not content. Like, that's what I'm worried. So you guys are from here, like from Adelaide? I'm from Mildura. Like it's like a huge Victorian New South Wales. I'm staying at a college, so yeah. Lincoln, it's just one of them. Yeah, it's pretty chill there. It's like one of the same. It's pretty much the same.
Occupational therapy is my first option.
Pretty chill there. Still want to do like when you're older. Just like want to be nurses. I don't know.
Like a selective
Seven's my lucky number.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, nice. I'm so scared. It's going to be so hard. It has to be hard.
What have you established about yourselves?
We all think we've been wrong.
You want to bring
Excellent tick.
We all have some understanding of
very, very tricky.
each of us are going.
Hopefully.
Glory later.
That's why we're doing the pathway.
No, you're not as old as me.
She tells us something.
What is old? Yeah.
Like, you on top, so you guys can.
I started mine when I did. I enrolled so then I like back to uni got coming to uni for the first time just in case.
I don't know. I just know the name. I don't even know the names. I know my names. I just chose that. Kinda. Oh, really? Like your numbers, like so you want name transfer one word different. Excellent. I think I only know two. I forgot the other one. Like human bioscience. Yeah, I'm doing it on one as well. It doesn't come up when you cast it. Yeah, and like that's the same one.
Like you know that.
Oh yeah, that comes up.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Jane actually. Excellent.
Yeah, same as me.
And it starts at 9.
I was like, someone about it last night. I was like, so like, how do I find a way online stuff? Like, well, you can do it at your own pace. And I'm like,
Lectures, like, I was looking on like one of the things I have on my notes because I had no lectures.
I've got to get someone to like bloody like I can't read it and contain it.
Do you know what I mean? So you get something to be around. Yeah, exactly. And they like, I have someone to motivate me.
Yeah.
I feel my bad.
I need to be like, so what you need to do this day, and then you need to do this before. Which is all in the one thing.
Physio OT, you can do like helping out at being about readings on Insta. I have really like that. But they're really really great. Immunised population is a great thing, but no one loves needles. I told you it's very magical.
I don't even know what it's called. I think it's like interpersonal. Yeah, I did that one as well. Yeah, you did that one.
Mass immunisation.
I was going to say, 'cause I have no idea what to do.
Drive through one.
Yeah, or the ones where you go to like waiting rooms and everyone. It was magical.
Really?
Just stand in line quietly.
Like stir?
Get their immunisation come out. Doesn't make any sense. We just knew there were lots of people being immunised, which was great. Do you know what I got taught? I don't like things. If you wiggle your fingers and your toes when that's happening, it somehow distracts your brain.
Better than nothing. There you go. I started.
Okay, I think we're good to come back. I have a little bit of a tendency to get lost in a conversation and forget that time is real and that we have to kind of follow a timetable. Thank you, table, for indulging me in a conversation. All right, so Jane's going to be scribe, and we're going to ask you, what are your goals? Who wants to lead us? This table's already told me what their goals are. Anyone else want to say, why are you doing this degree? Scholar.
I want to get a high GPA so I can bridge over to paramedicine.
Yeah.
Paramedicine. Put your hand up if you also want to do the same thing. Hi, put it up high. There's lots of you in the room.
That's right.
Okay, crew. Excellent.
So that's a very common reason for coming and studying health sciences, and we're used to supporting students who have that goal, and we're happy to have conversations with you about your topic choices and your options so that you can choose strategically to maximise that GPA and have the best chance that you can of getting across. So don't feel shy about coming in saying it would be helpful for you to chat with me, even if I just confirm what you've already decided. If you think that would be useful, let me know.
Jane really is the sage of health sciences.
You're very old now.
Sorry, Jane. Thank you, Scholar, for getting us started. Who else would like to tell us what their goals are? They could be really ambiguous. Like, you might not have a allied health profession in mind. You might be, thinking about, you just want to be in this health space.
Can I ask a specific question?
Yes, Jane.
Is there anybody who's here who knows that they want to do something in health and are not quite sure what yet, and so are doing some study to find out yet? Hands up.
Hands up. Brave people.
It's really common. So one of the nice things about health sciences is that it provides a foundation for all but, I think, 2 postgraduate courses to train as a health professional at Flinders. So it's a degree that you can stay in for 3 years, make up your mind, and then apply for postgrad study if you do decide that you want to be an allied health professional. But also some students decide by the end of first year and will either use their ATAR or their GPA to apply and get started on that path that they've chosen. So again, if that's what you're here for and it would be helpful for you to chat to me about how to make that work best for you, I'd love to hear from you.
Thank you, Jane. What you'll find is doing the topics is that there'll be things that you really like. And so it will become clearer to you, I actually really like this and I didn't even know it was a thing, right? So that's the wonderful thing about coming to university, is that you discover things that you didn't know, areas of health, parts of the health space where you could work, where you really like to think more about. So who's thinking maybe they'd like to go into OT as part of their degree? Is there anyone here? Put your hand up. Yep. Anyone who's thinking that maybe as part of their degree they might go into physio? Yep. Is there another area I haven't brought up that that you're thinking, yeah, actually I want to go in there. Tracy hasn't mentioned that yet. I want to see who else is interested in that.
So one of the things that you can do with us in health sciences is essentially study exactly the same topics, and apparently we're the only university in the country who uses the word topics, which is just like subjects. You can study exactly the same topics in the standalone BHS as you would if you were in the health sciences OT double degree or the health sciences physio double degree. So if you think that's your future, again, an early chat with me would be a good way of making sure that you know what topics you should choose so that that's what you do.
So getting to something else that we wanted to discuss. Put your hand up if you've enrolled in topics. Excellent. Put your hand up if you're still to enrol in topics and you're not sure which topics to do when.
Or just talk to me.
Plan B is always Jane.
So even if you're enrolled and you just want somebody to check,
Yeah.
I can do that. If you're not sure what you should be enrolling in and you want to chat to somebody about it, I can be your starting point, and we can do that today. I plan to hang around after the session for as long as anyone who's here will find it useful to chat to me.
I've already said that you would be a very good person to speak to at the table.
Huh?
You come highly recommended for any kind of, like, I'm not sure, I think I've done it right. Okay. Hang on. Trying to get this to move. I can't, actually, I'll go back here. Is that the right slide? Let's just go back. Yep. Okay. So we sent out a survey as part of emailing you and telling you about these sessions, and a number of you got back to us to say what it was that you'd like to hear about. Everything, that's large. That's like physics, quantum physics large. It's exponential. But it's a very reasonable place to start from because most of you are new, so you do want to know about everything and how it works. Someone said, I would like to learn who the best people are to contact throughout the year. Information about the course and what to expect, introduction to basic things, lectures and work delivery, learn more about what the campus has to offer. Hopefully we touch on that in this session, but if not, we can circle back, Jane.
We'll come back to at the end of the session and check in with you to see if we've covered these sufficiently for those who asked, but also to see if any other questions have come up that we haven't answered during this session.
All right. I'm not trusting myself there, so I'm going to just come here. Okay. So we've talked about enrolment, and now we just kind of want to unpack the organisation that you'll need to complete your degree and work towards your goals. So map your study schedule. What topics will you do and when? So which semester? Which times of the day? Core topics are offered in both semesters. Some topics may only be offered in one semester or outside of normal semester times. Map your timetable. Some topics may have scheduled face-to-face labs or interactive online sessions. You'll find that out through being in the topic. Map your key dates. So what by that we mean mainly assignments. So when are assignments due? Is there a group assignment? What are the requirements for each assignment? Study hack, right? So all of the teachers who are here with us today have done at least one degree. Most of them have done multiple degrees. So we're offering a study hack from the perspective of being a student previously, but also from being topic coordinators and tutors. Count back at least 2 weeks from a due date to give yourself time to complete assignments effectively and to seek support if necessary. I know that sounds like a lot of planning, but planning is actually what's going to help you get through. When I was at uni, one of my tutors said, actually Jen and I had the same teacher, write a draft, put it in the drawer. and then come back a week later, see if you still think the same. We don't do that anymore.
Because we don't write things on paper.
And put them in drawers. We store them on the cloud, OneDrive. But the idea of like planning and having time is so important. It will actually help you in a general way, particularly with your well-being. Mapping your time. When are you going to study? What days and times of the week will you be able to study? When will you have large chunks of time week to week to study? Everyone will have their own personal response to that. What times? When? You have to work that out really early on. Carve it out in your week. Okay? So planning for study, it's not just about am I in topics, am I in the right topics? It's also about making time week to week for study. All right. Okay, so Jane's already touched on this. Are you going to talk to this, Jane, or is it me?
Talk to this.
Yeah. So Jane's already touched on this by saying that Flinders is funny in that we're the only university who uses the term topic.
And so you'll, associated with course and topic, you'll hear two terms. One is course coordinator, so that's me. So I'm responsible for overall, we'll call it governance, but I've got responsibility for making sure that as students in our degrees, we have everything in place that you need to do the topics that you need to do and to do the work that you need to do to get your degree. And there's a bunch of degrees that sit with us. So can I get a sense of who's here? Who is doing a Bachelor of Health Sciences, 3-year bachelor's degree? Yep, so most of you. We also have an associate degree in health sciences here at City Campus. Have we got anybody in the associate degree? And the diploma in health sciences. Okay, so a few diploma students as well, good. So those 3 programs are all cousins of each other. A bachelor's degree, the Bachelor of Health Sciences, is a 3-year degree. The associate degree is a 2-year degree, and students in the associate degree can do basically the first 2 years of the bachelor's. And then if they want to, go on and do the 3rd year and upgrade to a bachelor's. And for students in the diploma, that's the 1st year of the Bachelor of Health Sciences, and they can then go on either to the associate degree or straight into the bachelor's if they decide that they want to stay with us. And I can again help you through all of that. Is there anybody here who's doing letters? Okay, so I don't need to talk about that. That's good. So, in addition to course, we have topics. And topics are what you might think of subjects. Some universities call them courses or units, but we call them topics. So you'll hear some people who will be very important to you in those topics referred to as TCs or topic coordinators. And we've got a few topic coordinators in the room for topics that you'll study in semester 1 here at City Campus, who will introduce themselves and introduce you to those topics today as well. Each topic is designed and selected to contribute to you achieving the overall course learning outcomes, so that when you graduate from whichever course you're enrolled in, you will have done some work that shows that you have the knowledge and skills that we have said that you'll have when you graduate from that program. So you'll see for each topic there will be learning outcomes, and there might be between 4 and 6 of those. And those learning outcomes are the things that we teach to. They're the things that we will say to the world that you are able to do when we say that you can pass that topic. The teaching that we do will reflect those, but also when we assess your learning with the different assessments that you'll do in each topic, these are the things that we're looking at to see if you've achieved those to the level that's appropriate to you being in whichever year of your degree that you're in. So these are the learning outcomes for our introductory digital health topic, which is not offered at City Campus this year, but you can enrol in it at Bedford Park or online in semester 2 if it's something that you're interested in. If you're studying at Festival Plaza, you'll have, for the topics that you do, you'll have online recorded presentations that you can watch in your own time, and then you'll also have some classes on campus for those as well, and you'll have registered in most of those, I hope. If you haven't or you need help with that, again, that's a question that you can ask me, or for those of you who were here in the earlier session, you'll remember which level do you go to if you want help? Level 2, okay? So Student Services is on Level 2. At the end of the session, if you want to, we can take you on a tour of the campus and you can find the rooms that your classes will be in next week, but also eyeball the places where the support services are for you as well.
This might be one of the classes.
This may well be one of the rooms that one of the classes is in.
Any questions about topics that we haven't covered?
So generally speaking, a full-time study load is 4 topics, and that's equivalent to a full-time job. That's the maximum that we recommend that you enrol in, and the system won't let you enrol in any more than 5. If you do want to do more than 4, it's worth chatting to me about making sure that that works well for you, because there might be other options. And if working on your study 36 hours a week, 35 hours a week is not feasible for you, then again a chat about how to do your study over a part-time load might be worth having. And if you're here to get a strong GPA to transfer into something like Para, you might even think about not studying full-time so that you can maximise your grades and have your best chance of getting that strong GPA. So that's a conversation I'd be happy to have with you as well.
Thank you, Jane. This is a continuation on from what is a topic. This is about what to expect from a topic. So every topic has its own Flow or Canvas site, and this is where all the learning content can be accessed, so reading, so forth. So you'll hear Flow and Canvas used interchangeably, and in the Flinders University context, they currently mean the same thing. So you might hear someone say Canvas, you might hear someone say Flow. We're really referring to the same learning management system. So the great thing about Flow or Canvas is it's consistent in how it appears across multiple topics. So it's similar, the feel is similar, although the content is different, and there'll be, I want to say quirks, but I actually mean something kinder than quirks. Some specificness. Can you think of another term, Jane?
Well, I was going to say peculiarity.
Yes. So the topic coordinator makes the site in the way that they think is logical and makes sense, right? But that makes it different to all the other sites. But the great thing about Flow and Canvas is that the look is very much the same site to site. So that actually lightens some of the cognitive load that you'll be experiencing. It also helps you to feel a sense of belonging, which is something we'll come back to, and self-efficacy. Who studied psychology in Year 12 and looked at the idea of self-efficacy? Anybody? Some people? That's the idea that you've got a sense of, I'm actually good at this. This is something I can do. I'm good at it. Okay, another study hack. Explore the topic's Flow or Canvas site to get a feel for the topic's architecture, so how it is presented, how it flows, the logic of the site. So every site has a logic to it. Learn about topic expectations, learn about how to access the topic's content and assessments. And doing all of this now will support you to develop an understanding of what is expected of you as a student. So you're going to have to take deliberate actions. You're here today, that's a very big deliberate action. So tick or clicks, as I like to do. On campus and online topics have the same learning outcomes, but the assessments may be a little bit different depending on the context. A topic's assessments include comprehensive instructions and prescribe how artificial intelligence tools can be used. And each topic's use of AI tools is different. So that's something that you'll get introduced to via the site, and also hopefully within the first few weeks through tutorials and other activities. Any other questions about topics? It's a lot of information, but as Tori said, go in and have a look around. As we're saying, go in and have a look around before the weeks start to roll on. Do it in week 0. Yes, please, Jane.
And you'll find that the overall presentation of the flow sites for each topic have a very similar broad structure. So you'll start to see some similarities between them fairly early on. It's in what are usually weekly modules, where you might find that some of the organisations are a little different.
I think we're going to go and look at one now. Okay, so
Prepared earlier.
yeah, here's one I prepared earlier, like a cake. So I'm taking you into this site because, here we go. This is very normal. There's lots of hoops to get through to get to where you actually want to get to. So everyone gets to see my fan. You'll all have fans. And then my password, you don't get to see that. You'll do this many, 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 many times a day, by the way. And you may, get frustrated at that. That's very normal to get frustrated. I think I've heard my colleagues moan at how often we have to log in. But it's very good at protecting our information, so we do it. So this is what a site looks like. This is a topic that you'll do next semester, strengths-based approaches to health working with Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. Yeah? Pardon? I'll go into student mode, yeah. Thank you, Jane. That's Tracy mode. All right. So, thank you. There's a home. This is the home page, sometimes referred to as the landing page. These all look kind of similar, but as soon as you get here, you'll start to see, this one's a little bit different. For instance, it has a locate whose country you're on via the IATSIS map. And what you'll see is quite a few topics will pin recent announcements at the top of the homepage. Jen taught me last year that you can, was it you, Jen, or was it Morgan? Yeah, another colleague of ours. You can pin 3 announcements as a topic coordinator. So this might be a really great place to start if you haven't caught up on topic announcements, is to go and say, okay, what's the TC saying we need to know? And this is one of the ways that you'll be communicated with via announcements. So the reason I'm in this topic is because this is where I feel most familiar. So I'm going to show you around somewhere where I feel most familiar. These are the modules. And the modules have things like teaching team and communication expectations. And so you'll see here that there are contact details for the topic coordinators and the tutors. And you can see that Tiripa and Sarah have said, please contact us via this email address. So every topic will have a different prescription of how the TCs and the tutors are to be contacted. And they've also got things like emailing expectations, as well as the tutorial times and days. So this is what it looks like here, but it will look like this on a lot of your sites. So this is what it looks like specifically to 1012, but it will feel familiar when you go into other sites. There's things like finding resources, readings. Okay. Okay, we can't see it at the moment, but if I leave, is it okay to leave student view and go into mine? Yeah. If we go into me, you can see every week has readings, the required readings you're expected to do. Okay?
Or anything that you need to use for the topic will either be in a textbook that you will have had communication about, or it will be available in electronic format either in the weekly module or in this readings module. Sometimes if it's an online resource, we don't include it in the readings module, but certainly anything that we're using that's from the library, you'll be able to get a link to it. Yeah, and pretty much everything that you will need to read will be available in electronic format somewhere for you as well. So if you're having trouble getting your hands on something that you need to read for a topic that's been listed, let the TC know and they'll let you know what options you have.
Okay, some of these things are probably self-evident. Assignments is where you go to find out about assignments. So this is where you can start to plot, okay, this is my first assignment in this topic. For you guys, this isn't applicable because you're not doing it until second semester, but if it was in this semester, put that in a diary. Count back 2 weeks. So you can do that for all of your other topics. All right, we'll leave this space, but just to show you this is how they feel. The banners at the top will feel very similar, and the left-hand menu, that's going to feel very similar topic to topic as well. Okay.
Can I have one more thing?
Yes. What do you want me to go to?
So over here, the question mark is a great bundle of resources that have written but also some video information about how to do things and where to find things in Flow as well.
And just so you know, we, topic coordinators, also use those sites. We're finding our way and we're finding the tricks as well. All right. Okay, now we're going to introduce you to the teaching team for City Campus. That's what CC stands for, City Campus. And we've got 3 core topics here on City Campus. And I'm going to introduce you to the topic coordinators. And topic coordinators, if you've got colleagues here that are teaching with you, can you introduce them as well? First of all, I'm going to ask Roweda to come up. Roweda is the topic coordinator for Human Biosciences. And you're very fortunate because 3 of the Human Biosciences teachers are here. Isn't that right? Yep. Thanks, Roweda.
So good morning, everyone, and welcome to Health Sciences. So my name is Roweda Saleem, so I coordinate Human Bioscience. In terms of still you don't know what do you mean by bioscience, it is about introducing anatomy and physiology. In this case, I'm referring to human body as a structure and function. So you're going to find in this topic every week we'll be covering one of the body systems. It's going to be something very interesting to know about your body. And one of the things you can take it home today, anyone knows how many vertebrae you've got at the level of your vertebral column?
How many?
In case you don't know, think about it. At what? Do you know how many you've got maybe at the level of your cervical, at the level of your neck? So okay, so you're saying 3, 4, okay. What about your thoracic? Your lumbar. Okay, so let me help you. At what time you have your breakfast, if it's going to be maybe an early breakfast? Think about 7 o'clock. So in this case, you've got 7 vertebrae at the level of your cervical. At what time you have your lunch? Let's say it's 12, okay? So in this case, at the level of your thoracic, you've got 12 vertebrae. At the level of your lumbar, think about you having early dinner. So in this case, it's going to be 5 vertebrae. So you can take it home from today, and this is when we're going to reach skeletal system, that your vertebral column, if you're going to divide it into how many number of vertebrae, at 7 o'clock you're going to have your breakfast, 12 o'clock you're going to have your lunch, and 5 o'clock early dinner, okay? So this is one of the things we're going to learn in this topic. Also, you'll be learning as well about, let's say, using body painting, which is one of the innovation. As Flinders, we always think about innovation, integrity. We're always student-centered. So at one stage, which students mentioned when we're running skeletal and muscular system, it is very boring. So one of the questionnaire that I sent, can you tell me exactly how do you think and ideas that we can improve these sessions? So they came up, maybe we can, and I gave them the options because I had to go and refer to the literature about one of the most innovating, engaging way to teach musculoskeletal. So I found out that using body painting and Play-Doh will be an interesting option. So based on this, I gave the students several options, and this is what they mentioned, that they want body painting and Play-Doh, and this is what we do when we're going to run musculoskeletal system. Same with the assessment pieces, because we are very student-centered, so we care about you, we care about your success as well, your well-being. I asked students, did you enjoy, let's say, the assessment pieces? They said, no, we didn't enjoy, let's say, the workbook assessment piece. So I referred to the literature. I found out that using STEM or even STEAM as science, technology, engineering, art, and math, and then we created a new assessment piece called artifact creation. Okay, so you're gonna find in this topic it's very interesting, it's very engaging, and also you'll be as well relate later on to your study area, whether you're doing health sciences, OT, physio. Now, one of the things keep in mind that if you are doing this topic at City Campus, and now I'm going to introduce as well the team. So I've got as well Georgia. So Georgia and I will be here as well on Monday teaching the session. So I'll give you maybe if you want to introduce yourself.
Hello everyone, welcome. So as Rowena said, my name is Georgia, and very, very keen to see you all on Monday to get you guys started for human biosynapses.
And in case you're taking this topic as well, because I'm aware some of the students, they're going to have a few topics here, others maybe they chose at Bedford Park. Also, we've got Georgia, she's going to be teaching there, and also I've got Bianca, so if you want.
Hi everybody, my name is Bianca. I've been teaching anatomy and physiology for many years now, but I'm also new to Flinders, so we can kind of find our way together.
Thank you. So this is some of the few faces you'll be able to see when you're going to have this topic, whether it's going to be Georgia, Bianca. Also, we've got Boris, which is another member within the anatomy and physiology team. My message to you, which is before, I don't want to talk a lot, is that we really care about your success, but also keep in mind your well-being. So in case at any stage, and I can relate personally, if I'm a bit stressed out, I'm having a bit of issues, maybe a lot of workload, the first thing I'm going to go and ask for help will be my supervisor. Sometimes you're going to find talking about your problem and listening as well while you're saying it, you're going to feel that, yeah, it's going back again. All you need is that you need someone just to listen to you. And then while you're saying your problem, you're going to find the solution. So my advice to you, success and your well-being, that are equal to us, because we are very student-centered. We want you to succeed and as well to enjoy what you're doing. So whenever you've got any issues, whether it is, I think, in my topic or other topics, let us know so we can make sure that you are on the right track, okay? So always remember, we are here as well to listen, help you, support you. And I wish you all the best and enjoy your day.
Thank you, Rowena, and also Georgia and Bianca. Your first time with us, but Bianca and Georgia are very experienced. They've come from Adelaide University and now they're with us. And hopefully when you get to meet and work with Rowena and Georgia and Bianca, you can hear about their interests, because they are buzzing with their own interests in relation to human anatomy and physiology. One thing that you'll hear is that we get very excited about our topics, and I think that that excitement will also become part of your own excitement. Thank you, Rowena. We don't have Neil Bretana here, but Jane can speak to...
Yes, you do.
Oh, Neil's here. Oh, here you are, Neil. Ta-da! Neil is here. I didn't see you. Were you outside?
Yeah, we're just outside waiting.
Okay. Sorry, Neil. I didn't see that you were here. Thank you for being here. Would you like to talk about 1010?
Yeah, so welcome everyone. So Health 1010 is research and study skills topic. So it's meant to prepare you for university skills, professional development, and also research skills. So hopefully that will be meaningful.
Okay. So Neil, are you going to be the tutor for that at Sturt campus, and Morgan will be here on City campus?
So
other
Morgan
way around.
is my topic coordinator for that. Morgan's doing the online.
Yep, that's right.
And I'm doing the on campus.
Here.
And I'm teaching the workshops in the city.
Okay. So Neil will become incredibly familiar face Neil will be the go-to for a whole lot of those questions, and you'll find out more about what research and study skills involves as the semester rolls out. Yeah? Did you want to say anything else, or you've got it covered? Okay.
No one's scared at it, right? No, it's really fun.
Thank you, Neil. It's lovely to see you. And we have Jen Fish, who's the TC for interpersonal and interprofessional communication. And you'll hear us do this funny thing because there are quirks that take place within teams. We often refer to topics by their codes. So, for instance, human biosciences is 1004. Research and study skills, you might hear us call it 1010. And with Jen's topic, we sometimes refer to it as 1304, just shorthands. Thank you,
might
Jen.
also hear people talk about it as the communication topic.
Yes.
But we cover interpersonal and interprofessional communication. So interprofessional is more about working within teams and across professions. So we do a lot of group work in the topic where you'll collaborate with people from OT, physio, clinical sciences, health sciences. So first of all, I'm Jen. I'm the topic coordinator. I won't be teaching here at City Campus, but you'll have Owen, who is an amazing tutor in the topic. She's been teaching in the topic for many, many years. So you'll learn a lot from her. My background's in psychology, but I'm a lecturer in health sciences here. You will have me again in second year for the health psychology topic. But let's focus on this topic. So what you'll learn in this topic is foundational communication skills. You're going to practice your communication skills and then demonstrate them. You'll also practice reflective practice. You'll do that every week. You'll learn how to work in teams, and you'll also learn how to communicate ethically and essentially apply cultural safety through your communication as well. So those are the 4 things we're aiming for throughout the semester. So to achieve all these aims, you'll come along each week to tutorials and practice your skills. Now, if you're anything like me, when I was a first year, coming along to tutorial and communicating with others was pretty terrifying. So you might feel really nervous about coming along, but I encourage you to adopt a growth mindset and to embrace that university value of courage and come along and to take a little bit of a risk. Practice your communication skills with others. You'll do that sometimes in pairs or in groups. Sometimes you'll do it in front of the class. We practice oral presentation skills and then learn from those experiences and apply those in the assessments. So the assessments are personal reflections, but they're also a group oral presentation and also a demonstration of your communication skills at the end of the semester using role play. All of these assignments are more fun than they sound. Students tell me that they love this topic. They love coming along each week, making friends, practicing their skills. It's a really important topic for transitioning into university. And if you want to get into another degree, like paramedicine, and you want to get a good grade, coming along to tutorials and practicing your skills is going to be key in getting good grades in this topic. None of us are perfect communicators. We all come in as imperfect communicators, but we have that growth mindset that we can improve. And we also create a really safe and supportive learning environment. That's also part of the university courage value, is that we back ourselves, but we also back each other as well in class.
Thanks, Jen.
Is that enough?
I love that. Thank you. And also thank you. Rowena also spoke to another of the values of the university, which is innovation. So thank you for both speaking to that. Now, Jane, there's a few Janes.
Yep, you'll find many Janes across the university. So I'm Jane Taylor Mattison. I am the topic coordinator for health promotion for health professionals. We're just locking in the details for the city campus delivery of the topic, so that will become available to people soon. But to be enrolled in health promotion for health professionals, you don't need to know what health promotion is. That's what we'll teach you. And you don't need to be a health professional yet. It is sort of understanding where you think you might be heading, whether you think you're heading into OT or physio. We're not expecting you to be a qualified health professional there. We learn a lot about health promotion, what it is, theories behind it. It's an evidence-based field, so there is a lot of evidence that we can pull on in what we're doing and what you're planning with your assignments, and exploring different theories around delivery of health promotion and different theories and different models that you use within health promotion as well. We take a look at a lot of different health promotion settings. You would have probably heard of some of the important parts of it with health promoting schools, if you just come through the high school system as well. And we sort of explore those areas and sort of touch on a few different aspects throughout the 12 weeks to help you be able to incorporate, once you are that qualified health professional or allied health professional, incorporate health promotion into your work.
Thank you, Jane. So nice. We've got 2 mics. I was actually going to get Tori to... Tori, are you teaching into any topics at City Campus? But Tori, as you would have heard, is the Associate Dean for Student Success and Wellbeing. So... Engagement. So Tori's very invested in the same things that we all are, which is student success. Did you want to have a little just reiteration of that? Or
spruik of this morning. So those of you that came to this morning's welcome for the General College, you would have met me already. So my name is Tori, and yes, my focus is, I'm a pharmacist, so my focus is drugs. But my other focus is student success and well-being, and trying to make sure that the experience that you guys have while you're here with us is the best it can possibly be. So part of that is talking to students, setting up some different events for students. So we've got one that'll be in week 3 on the Tuesday over on main campus. So you will need to come over to Sturt if you want to come to that. Around it's a welcome and welcome back kind of event. And if you want to start to connect with students on the main campus as well, then you can do that in healthcare. But yeah, basically, I'm here for you. I'm here to try and make your experience as good as it can be. So if you have anything that you want, need, think we can do better, think we're doing awesome and we should do more of, then please get in touch with me, and I'll see what I can do to advocate on your behalf.
Thank you. I think I might have turned it off. Thank you, Tori. Now, Tori is my supervisor, and I go to Tori quite a lot with, like, can you help me out with blah. Tori is an excellent problem solver in the same way Jane is. So I know that these 2 people are wonderful at helping, because they do that for me pretty much every day. Okay, so thank you. Clicks to our topic coordinators and teachers. Come on, clicks. Oh, thank you, Scholar, for picking up the clicks. All right, now we're going to do something fabuloso. We're going to have an icebreaker, and there's a prize. And it's bingo. It's people bingo. So Jane's coming around with some bingo sheets and also some pens and pencils, actually. Oh, thank you, Rowena. So what we're going to ask you to do, thank you, Tori, find someone who fits the criteria in one of the boxes and write their first names in that box. You may only write one person's name once. So you might find that someone sitting next to you has got a lot of those things. No, you can't have 3 Tracys or 3 Janes. You've got to move around and find someone else. So the aim is to fill in as many names as possible, preferably completing a line of boxes in a horizontal, vertical or diagonal direction. And yes, there is an excellent surprise, and I understand that excellent prizes is subjective. I think it's excellent. Okay. Has everyone got a pencil? No? Okay, we're coming around. There's lots of texters in those.
Left hand. Yeah. What's your name? Yes.
Has everyone got a... staff members can do them as well, if you want to. You might have to get up off your table, actually, to be a prize winner. Yeah.
What's your name, sir? Okay, mine's Elf. What was your initial other Holly? L.
Oh, look, this scholar's using their mobile chair, which I love.
So there's a lot of effort to like make the point to the sport. I don't know if it's like I like your I'm actually really.
So you're taking the topic here or still? Okay, still, it's fine. Tuesday, Wednesday, you said Tuesday. Okay. Until 11 till 2. Until 6. Okay, yeah. Then you might have or maybe other stuff.
I used to play the piano. Seriously? Say
yeah. So either you're gonna have Georgia or you're gonna have another tutor.
Oh, bless you. You can't say you like chocolate, mate. You're probably
It is related to bioscience.
So do we find those on the
Yes.
What, whereabouts?
If you start with the module focus, then it's already been mentioned.
Have you got it?
Every week, you don't know. And then you even in questions asking what's the direction.
Sorry, I got distracted. Libra. Oh, okay. Yeah, we you know what a parrot does? You know what a parrot does?
I want to get to the
No, spring. I'm also
anyone can juggle or ride.
Research is something you need to be down for. I broke into ACL, so you can put me that
And one per table just for shit. Oh, so are you? I'm guessing you're
If you want to ask me anything, then I might help you.
I want to find a chocolate.
An easy way was born in a country other than Australia? Yes.
No, that's why I thought I said when I was like, yep, I want
Lebanese.
okay. You've got to keep. If you get all of the very here, but you are actually in my science. One here of this video is in my science. I help you. That anybody's going to
So you can say bioscience or
Do we have any tourists at this table? You guys might need to get up and sign up for our science.
Have you all
No,
run out of people on this table who can? Okay, so now it's time to get up and walk around. You can ask me.
I did.
Do I just like chocolate? Are you crazy? Yes, I'm a parent.
I'm Jane.
Jane. So there's two Janes. I'm Jane 8.
I want to transfer my
That's usually the paramedicine students on stage are super engaged. It was like hearing the life isn't a good true too. But then like
I say to residents,
Chapel Road.
The worst thing we could do today is go and talk to people that you don't know.
Meet Ella.
Does anyone have an older sister? Oh, I wrote it down.
Is anyone a member of a sports team?
I think it's me, coach. Oh, what the hell? I forget what it is. You wanted something there.
You want a Gemini?
What'd you say?
Bianca.
Like you used to say, like chocolate. Okay, No, wait, no. Hey guys. Born in summer. I need a summer. Yes, I was really. No, I'm gatekeeping it now. You're not allowed. I need something back. I'm not telling you my name.
Before you do that, I'm also a parent and I'm going to
Every summer, right? Okay, this table looks like a come together. Toby's in here. Can you find someone with the same class? Bianca, what are you? Gemini. I feel like people are That's hilarious. Come on, let's look at Who was born in Adelaide? Who was born in Adelaide now? I'll write you down then. Hello, I win. Jelena.
I'll see you later.
Can I help you?
What are you missing? Can I help with anything?
Are you going?
And I also...
You can switch or you already done that.
Are you taking those pictures? Okay. It depends on the study. And yeah, how many topics you've got? Yes, what degree you're doing? So maybe double check when you're changing 20 days. Okay, so maybe that's why. Maybe nutrition, that's why. There's a cat it's available. And you've got this ability to juggle. It's flexible now. All the best. In case we don't see you this semester, then we'll see you.
Okay. Who completed a line? Toby completed a line very quickly. Quite a few people. Who got 2 lines? Anyone who got 2 lines? It's very hard. Anyone still looking for Aries? I'm an Aries. Aries, see you. See you, Aries. All right, I'm going to give the prize to Toby because he got her first line within a minute, but then I forced Toby to go back to the table and find more people. So clicks to Toby. And here's the fabulous prize. Here's the ceremony. It's like it's the Olympics. Clicks to Toby and everybody else. Now there are donuts around at some tables. Please open up the boxes and get yourself a donut. And then we're going to come back to a bit more information. Thanks, everyone. Thank you for taking part in that. Did everyone meet Ella who went to Chapel Roan? Anyone else go to Chapel Roan? Ella, thank you for representing that on the bingo. I really appreciate that. And also thank you for telling me that you went. All right. Does everyone who want a donut get one? Because the donuts aren't at every table. Scholars, get yourself a donut. Oh, Roweda's bringing them around. Did you guys get donuts? Do you need donuts? Okay. They're Krispy Kreme, which is like so lovely and sweet. Okay, let's get back to our... Back to some of the information. Okay, so we've talked about topics a little bit. We've introduced you to the idea of a topic. A standard topic at Flinders University is designed on the understanding that you will complete 135 hours for each topic. Sounds like a lot, yeah? So that those hours will be spread across different things. They'll be spread across activities such as tutorials, labs and workshops. Remember to take notes in these sessions. Most of your learning will involve independent study, and you'll need to commit an average of 10 hours per week per topic. Just thinking back to some of those slides we looked at before about making sure that you carve out time every week to commit to your studies. Independent study includes watching lectures, taking notes, making summaries based on the content in the lectures. This is so important. I can't stress this enough. This is like you're doing work now for future you, right? So making notes, taking summaries, jotting stuff down, even if you're not quite sure what that is going to support future you when it comes to assessments. I read somewhere someone said make a glossary of concepts and ideas. So you're going to be introduced to so many new and different ideas. You might not necessarily know what they mean at the beginning, but start to make a glossary of terms. That's going to help you when it comes to assessments. Independent study also includes readings, which we touched on, or it might include podcasts. So topic coordinators will include a mixture of content and media as part of the content that makes up the topic and the learning activities. And another part of independent study includes preparing for assessments. And this is where, as I said, all of that note-taking will be incredibly valuable. Do you want to add anything to that, Jane?
Not for now. I just remember that we need to talk about another couple of topics before we go today. So I'm
okay. All right. So, keys to success in your studies. We all, as Rowena said, as Tori said, as we've all said, we want you to be successful because we want to support you in your goals, in your study goals, as well as your future goals. And here's some things that we want you to think about as you work towards success. In 2013, a student and staff expectations and experience project was undertaken, and it was across Flinders University, what used to be UniSA, and the University of Adelaide. And it investigated the gap between student expectations of university and their actual experiences in their first year. The project found lots and lots of different things, and one of the things was that the recommended amount of study for university subjects is 6 to 10 hours per week per subject outside of class time, And this is double what is expected of students at school and is equivalent to a full-time job. So the study found that there was a gap between what students expected and what was actually expected of you. So student expectations and what was expected of you by your studies and your topic coordinator and your tutors, there was a gap. So we're pointing that out to you now, that this actually might take more time than you had thought. So start to see where you can make time for your studies. Jane talked about potentially, if you're looking to have a really great GPA, potentially doing 3 topics. It's up to, or 4, up to the person, or 2, yep. So that's just something to be mindful of. Full-time study is like a full-time job. And knowing that might set you up, or is likely to set you up to make time for it now. So as I've said, you need to deliberately schedule time for your studies. Be proactive. Keeping up is better than catching up. Catching up feels very onerous, and there's also not always the time to be able to catch up. Seek out support and services. Tori's touched on that quite a few times. Have a plan for your study. Do you have a study routine? Work out how you best study. Body doubling, on the couch with a pet beside you, in the library. Also, sometimes it's best to start with what does not work for you. Sometimes you might not know what works for you, but you might know what doesn't work for you. So that might include long stretches of study, TV on in the background. Something that you need to learn about yourself is what sustains you, what gets you through long periods, short periods, medium-sized periods of study. So what fuels your study? Sugary snacks like the donuts, cups of tea, short dance breaks, studying with peers, loudly listening to EDM, which is how I can get through long periods of study. And then something that Jen introduced us to last year, which I realised spoke directly to me. There is no motivation fairy. Okay? So don't wait for it to arrive, because it won't. It doesn't exist, sadly. And what this study referred to, which Jen introduced me to and others to last year, but I felt like it was directly for me, is that action precedes motivation. You have to do something before you feel like doing it. The motivation won't arrive just by waiting. You have to actually deliberately participate in actions. So action precedes motivation, and this becomes a cycle of action. So feelings of motivation come after action and continue to do so. And the study says you have to start before you feel ready. Then you'll feel motivated, and then you'll take more action. I know that sounds kind of counterintuitive. You think, oh, I'll do that thing once I feel like it. Doesn't work like that. You've got to pull yourself to that. Then the momentum will come, the motivation will come. So we've done a very scholarly thing here. We've used literature to support us to present these ideas. Jane will touch on that when we talk about academic integrity.
Well, I have to talk to you about it.
Oh, we can share it. All right. Something that's really incredibly important to success is belonging.
Can I just say one
yes,
other
Jane?
Thing about that initial study that Tracy Ann talked about? One of the other things that students said in that survey was that they were surprised that school didn't really prepare them for university. The things that worked for them at school weren't necessarily things that worked well for them at university. So don't forget all of the things that you used to do when you're at school or in any other previous study, or in fact in any other roles in life that work well for you succeeding and getting done what you need to do. But it's worth being prepared for the possibility that you might need to develop some new skills or some new ways of doing things to succeed at university. And we know that. because students have told us historically that that's what they've needed to do. So one, don't be surprised if that happens. You're not the first, you won't be the last. Two, we know that students will, from time to time, need to develop new skills to succeed at university, and we have a whole raft of resources and support services to help you to do that. So that's something that I encourage you to expect. It may come as a surprise to you when it happens, but don't let the shock stop you in your tracks. The plan should be then to see what we offer you at the university to help you to learn those skills, to maybe pivot the way that you do things so that you're doing things in a way that works for you at university.
Yep. You'll be building onto your skill set,
Yep.
embedding what you already do and building on it. Jen spoke about that in relation to the communications topic. All right. Something that's really key and something that all of the TCs and tutors are interested in, because the literature is telling us this is important, is belonging. So belonging is very nebulous. We know it when we feel it. We can see it between others as well. So this is a really fabulous paper that came out just this year. We're only in February. It's just got published. And it was undertaken by academics at one of the universities in Melbourne, or a few universities in Melbourne. And they talk about the small actions that build belonging. So in higher education, belonging is commonly described as students' subjective feelings of relatedness or connectedness. A sense of university belonging is linked to students' positive self-perceptions of social acceptance, motivation, academic success and student well-being. These are all the things that are going to be key to you, not just feeling successful but being successful. So from this study, some participants described belonging in affective terms, so things that we feel, of enjoying being around people and having a nice group of friends, being on the same wavelength or having similar interests and common goals and being accepted or respected. We've already started to establish that some of us have common goals. Participants felt they belonged among their peers through mutual engagement in classes, so coming together, turning up, discussing like we have been, discussions and sharing ideas, mutual support by sharing experiences and helping each other to learn, working out together how to tackle a task, learning from each other about the world and themselves, and a general sense of unity, community and camaraderie. You guys are going to support each other and we'll support you as well. So we're all supporting each other, but a sense of belonging comes from these things, working together, task problem solving together. And when you can't work that out between you, we're here for that as well. Connections made by first year students, generally small daily acts, so that's how the connections are made, highlights how these are woven into multiple ways to make meaning about belonging. So the researchers propose that these smaller acts of connection, enabled by kindness, care, openness and shared interests, allowed students to create their senses of belonging without seeing it as completely located within either the individual or the institution. So the relatedness, being in relation to each other, is what builds belonging. So we just did a bit of that then. Jane, did you want to say something? We just did a bit of that then when we supported each other in the bingo. And I saw Toby, who won the most fantastic prize, actually leave their table and go, hey, fellas, can you help me out with this? Small actions, lots of deliberate small actions will build that sense of belonging. I find this research really exciting, and I hope to think about it more. All right, belonging. Did you want to say something, Jane?
Yeah, can I just say that there's a good chance, just because we know from the research and the things that students tell us, that everybody's really nervous about talking to other people that they don't know. You're all in the same boat. And I can bet you from experience that other people in the room would just love you to come up and say hello and introduce yourself and start up a conversation. And we know that's really important. And when you're in Jen's topic, the communications topic, that's something that topic does deliberately and explicitly, because it's so well known that you actually, we could call it making friends at university is so important for university success, that Jen builds that into the topic in a really explicit and careful way to help you to do that. So again, that's one of the key reasons, and there are many, why coming to classes will improve your success in study in ways that it's just not possible to achieve by studying alone and at home.
Yeah. And students talked about that, being around people. Yeah. All right. Thank you. Belonging. Tori already spoke about this. So some of you have already heard Tori get very enthusiastic about this. I actually thought also, given that there are drummers on campus, maybe there should be a health sciences band. And I put that out to you here today. Someone could lead the establishment of a band. Just saying.
Do we have anyone in the room who can play drums?
Drums? Scholar half. What's your name, Scholar? Hayden. Okay. Often bands start with the drummers, right? Who here plays guitar or would like to play guitar?
They're too scared now because I don't.
Oh. Who here plays another instrument?
Oh, well, so
Georgia would like to be part of the band. What instrument do you play, Georgia?
I don't know that really matches the drums and the guitar, but I play clarinet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hayden, yes.
No.
Can make it work.
Clarinet solo in this rock band. Any other instruments? Does anyone sing? Oh my gosh, we've got a singer here. You could learn guitar. You could be the lead singer guitarist.
You could just fake it. Lead singers do that all the time.
Anyone play a percussive instrument like maracas or shakers or would like to?
Triangle. Yeah, we've got a percussionist.
Okay, Hayden, it's on you. Health Sciences Band being established here at City Campus. But apart from a band, which would be so cool, please think about becoming a course representative. Jane, do you want to speak to this?
Yeah, I will. And I'll send out an email probably early in week 1 next week to all students. It'll come from my personal email address, so keep an eye out for it. I can't tell you how important it is for us to have course reps. Course reps play a really important role in communication between students and the teaching team. You'll also find that at topic level there'll be a call out for many topics for topic reps as well. But for course reps, we are looking for as many people who are willing to put their hands up to be course reps. Health sciences is a very diverse group of students with different needs, and we need to hear from as many of those voices as we possibly can. So we're looking for at least 2 first-year reps from City Campus, if that's possible. To meet with us probably twice a semester, but also to be available to students in the health sciences program at City Campus, for students to come and talk to you and say, I've got an issue, I've tried all of the usual ways to resolve it, could you take it to Jane? And that way it's anonymous, okay, but it's also coming somewhere where potentially I have a bit of power to try and resolve the issue. Doesn't just need to be problems. If you've got great ideas about opportunities that you see that you think would be great for you as students, I'd love to hear about that as well. We also have had historically a Health Sciences Students Club, and we'll be looking to recruit incoming students into that. The club is a great focus for students, and when they work well, they're run by students for students, and they do good work for students, and in particular they run social activities for students, which is again really important for your time as a student here. So watch out for that, and if you feel the least bit inclined, I would encourage you to put your hand up. FUSA, who is the Flinders University Student Association, will provide you with some training in how to do that, so that you've got a really good sense of what your rights are, what sort of things you can feel comfortable talking to me about, and that I will respond to and take very seriously. FUSA, the Flinders University Student Association, is your student association. They're paid for out of your student and amenities fee. You've paid for their services. So I would also recommend that at some point you have a look at the FUSA site. They provide a range of services for students, including advice and advocacy, but also student clubs. I've talked about the Health Sciences Club, but there are also non-academic clubs. There are a bunch of sporting clubs affiliated with the university. If you're been playing school hockey or football or whatever, and you don't have a club but you'd like to keep playing, or if you've moved from interstate or from the country and you'd like to join a club, a sporting club, I can recommend them. But there are also clubs for things like chess, craft. I think there's a
French club.
French club, okay, there you go. And all sorts of non-academic interests. So again, another great place to meet students who are on the same wavelength as you, who have a common interest in whatever the club is about.
Thank you, Jane. I'm just seeing what the next slide is. Okay, we're going to do another icebreaker. I have children a similar age to most of you, a 20